Hi, Alchemist here, and I'm going to be doing a little showcase on my Aspect of the Shark stacking and Serpent Strike build that I've been playing for a little bit. A little before I get into it, I'm not very good at editing. I really haven't figured it out, or I haven't done much of it, so I'm going to try to do this all in one take. If you want to jump around the video, feel free to do it. But this first part, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to fight the Abomination. I'll fight the Spirit of Fire, the 3 bosses up there, because a lot of people like to do that recently, just because it's he drops the big mace that people love to have for the Druid Earthquake build. And then I'll do the new boss up there at Spirit of Fire as well, and I'll do that. So let's get into this part right here, and I'll explain as I go a little bit, and then afterwards I'll go over the passives and the skills and a little bit of the gear. Alright, so I'll keep the character sheet open so you can see the numbers, because this boss is mainly just for the showcase on the numbers. I'm only doing this first part because while he takes no damage, I'm just trying to show how high the numbers can get, which is pretty fun. It is a showcase after all. So what I am doing is I use Warcry in order to get the Berserk buff, which is that buff down there that looks like a little eyeball with the 14 that gives more attack speed. And then I use the wolf in order to give me a frenzy stack, so you get frenzy from that. And because I'm getting frenzy from the wolf, I no longer need it from my totem. So as you see right now, I'm staying around like 2200, 2300. Usually I stay around like 160 stacks. Sometimes I go a little bit 170, sometimes I don't. The reason why is because every now and then he hits me kind of hard and I get stunned, and then his duration doesn't really stay up that high. But nevertheless, if you look at it, like saying around 2200 attack speed, 10k plus melee attack damage, you got damage over time down there on the bottom, 4600, and then poison damage 5600. That's coming from Serpent Strike. The melee damage and the melee attack speed is mainly coming from Aspect of the Shark stacks. So I'll go ahead and beat him now. Over here. Get a few more stacks off you, and I'll go to the next one. Cool. One more vessel. Alright, it's beaten now. I'll leave it open again. I might get up to 800, maybe 1000 if I'm lucky attack speed, but he should die pretty fast. I don't have a lot of modifiers on this boss. Yeah, I didn't even get it to 800. Oh well. Let's see here. What is this? To the void. No. I'll pick this up. Is this any good? As for the boar, as for the shark effect. Maybe. I might do that. Alright, let's see here. Pick my blessing, and I'll move on to the next boss. I did this first one just so you can see just how high the numbers can get. You're not really going to be able to do that too often out there in actual gameplay. I only did it on this boss because, well, it's immune all damage and I can survive its hits. And just so you know, this is an empowered one, so because say 100, I'm not doing it on the easy one, the normal one. So let me just keep what I currently have. I like that one. All right, on to the next boss. This one will be empowered as well. This will be the 3 bosses. I usually can get 2 of them together. If I can get all 3 of them together, cool, but usually I can only get 2 at a time. And you can get your stacks up pretty high and pretty fast that way as well. So let's go do this one. All right. Go, go, go. I hate getting stuck right there. I always get stuck right there. I don't like the mapping of it. It's so weird. Alright, these 2 up here up top are always together. The lower you down the bottom usually isn't. There we go. Let's see if I can keep this open. I'm at 600, almost 700, over 1,000. Get in here. There we go. 1,700. See, that wasn't too bad. Is this a 400% one? No, it's 285. That's really low. I don't need that. Nope. Sorry about that. Excuse me. I'll keep what I have. Pick those up. Don't need that. And then now for the last boss, the new boss. I'll try it out on him. Just gotta wait for the loading part. Let's do this one. There we go. This one's not too bad. Some of the fights can be kind of fun, depending upon your build. It's neat that he has like different aspects. I think what 6 different things, and it just picks between 2 and 3 of them. I don't even know. Oh, maybe I can get 1,000. Probably not. Where's the bar at? There it is. No, I'm not gonna get 1,000. He's dead. That was fun. Of course, the ring drops again. All right. Now, oh, also this little effect right here. That's the aspect of the shark buff, which is cool looking. You get a bunch of them. All right. So now for the fun part, going over the build. I'll go with the passive first, and I'll try to like shoot through that pretty fast. 8 out of 8 for more strength. I put 2 points in here just to get to the next tier. 5 points into survival pack to get more melee damage and leech. The harder you hit, the more you'll leech back. But your melee damage isn't your bread and butter here. It's the attack speed and applying poisons. That's your bread and butter damage. So, and then a little more damage here. I'd probably take a point out of there and put it in here to get more leech, but I haven't done it. And the druid, I put enough points in here to get up to 60, but I recently got the buff, the re-blessing on this. So now I had 15%, now I'm at 24%. So I can take out a little bit because I'm actually over capped on it because I'm at 71. So I can take points out of that druid thing in order to get back down to 60 and put the 5 points somewhere else, which I'll probably put into here, finish that off and put in here. But now for the Beastmaster tree. I'll only have enough points in here to get up to the 20 in order to be able to move on. You can put whatever you want anywhere else too if you want to, but I need 1 point into savagery, which lets me get to ambush. What ambush does is every 5 seconds you get a buff that when you hit something you get an aspect of the shark buff for 3 seconds that increases melee damage by 50%, melee attack speed by 10%, which is basically what you want. You want aspect of the shark, but we only need 1 point in there. We don't need to max that out if you don't want to. Generally, I put 3 points here. You can take that out, put it somewhere else if you feel like you leech just fine. More leech to me honestly is better. More survivability. I put 1 point into aspect of the shark, and you can put more points in, but your attack is so fast so often that you're pretty much going to have a fair amount of armor shred on any sort of boss. Like maybe it's not going to be quite so apparent on trash as you're going through a mob, as you're going through a map, but it will be apparent on bosses that they take a little extra damage. And of course you want 4 points into Hunters of the Deep because it increases the aspect of the shark duration, which more duration, which means the stacks stay up longer, so you can get them stacked even more, get them higher. If you don't have a companion out, the bottom part won't matter, but I do have a companion, so now it gives aspect of the shark to my pet, which is good. I put 8 points in Earth and Strength because of less damage taken with things nearby. More strength, more damage. I put 1 point into Arthur's Loyalty just because I don't really need it. To be honest, I could probably take it out because the pet's not really there for damage. Should probably just take it out, to be honest. But that's up to you. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. I have 4 points here in Boar Heart in order to be able to get aspect of the boar, which reduces damage taken, all damage taken, by 15% for 2 seconds though. But that's why you get the increased duration stuff later on. And then of course here, this increases the amount that is reduced by another 15%. I don't believe it's additive. I think it's just another 15% multiplier. So it's 15, the base amount, times 15%. I don't really know. I've never really got an actual like I never really asked the developer if it is 15 plus 15 equals 30%, which would be really overpowered if it was, but you never know. It could be. And then I put 5 points into primal strength to get the strength. You really don't need the full 5 points because you're attacking so fast that you can put like 2 points, maybe 3 points at most, and be able to keep aspect of the boar up all the time. As long as you're attacking, you'll pretty much keep it up all the time. I'm going to finish this off, so I'll have 5 of 5 into Envenom, just more poison chance. Resist is okay, I guess. I'm going to take those other points out of Druid and put into here, which will give me more endurance threshold, which is great. And then of course a little more vitality. And then you have, as long as you have a companion out and you have this, any endurance threshold that you have goes to, or endurance goes for your pets as well. So I don't know if threshold does, it just says endurance. It doesn't say anything about threshold. Oh, it does right up there. Your endurance threshold from all sources also go to your companions. Okay, that's cool. That's good. Gives them more survivability. You know, right there it says endurance. And then you have here, you have 5 of 5 into Circle of Life. So in order to get Esper the Shark currently, the only way you can get it is through ambush. But if you put points in here, you can get it for every time you kill something. You get 25% chance to get Esper the Shark, which you're only able to get 1 stack currently. All right. We put 1 point into Dragon Slayer in order to get it so that every time you hit a boss or a rare, you have a 25% chance to get Aspect of the Shark, which is only 1 stack currently. So while you're killing mobs, you'll get Aspect of the Shark, and while you hit them bosses, you get Aspect of the Shark. You put 8 of 8 here in order to get the increased duration and the increased shark effect. So the base one, instead of 10%, you'll be at like what, 120%, what, 22% more attack speed, which of course attack speed is what you want. You want to be able to attack faster, more often. I put 10 of 10 into Viper Fangs because I wanted the max attack speed that you get from this. You don't really need it. You could put 4 or 5 into there, because if you care more about having Viper up constantly, the faster you attack, you'll have it up constantly, especially with duration. And this is what you really need for this build to shine. Aspect of the Shark now stacks, but it is 60% less effective than normally would have been. But all you need is like 4 or 5 stacks, maybe 6 at the very most, and you'll basically be better than just a 1 stack without this. And you can get those up constantly. Even when going through a map, you'll stay somewhere between, I don't know, like 13, maybe 20 stacks of Aspect of the Shark constantly. On bosses, you'll have a lot more as well, and especially if you give a boss a lot of hit points. Like, it doesn't really matter. If you give a lot of boss a lot of hit points, that just gives you more time to get more stacks, to be able to put more attack speed buff and more poison stacks and kill a boss pretty fast. And then 10 of 10 in here in order to increase the duration, so that'd be 10 plus 120 plus the other 60 here is like 280 increased duration. And then I put 10 of 10 here. If you want, you can pick this stuff up as well if you want more leech, but that's all enough for crits. If you really care about critting, I don't really care too much about critting. It's not the main reason. The thing is, I just want to be able to hit fast, hit often, and apply as many poisons as I possibly can. But I did pick this up because it gives you more strength, and strength does scale with Serpent Strike, so more Serpent Strike damage, and dexterity scales with it as well as giving it more chance to apply on a melee hit. I did this because it increases your hit, and the harder you hit, the more you leech back, the longer you live. So that's the passives. As far as the skills go, pretty simple. Fear Leap, I basically wanted this pack companion leaders in order to jump with me, and I wanted this in order to reduce the cooldown so I can leap more often. You put points anywhere else you want, however you want, it's up to you. That's not too picky about that. It's more like personal preference. As far as the wolf goes, I wanted it to be able to howl as often as possible, so I gave it attack speed, give it some haste so that when it does howl, it has haste, and haste of course increases its movement speed so it can run around a lot faster and still keep up with you. And then I put 2 points into Battle Cry because I want it to be able to, every time it hits a boss, it has a chance to howl. Every time it howls, it gives me the Frenzy buff. It gives a self Frenzy stack, which is, Frenzy is, where is it at? Is it on here? Where's it on here? Oh, it's right here. Okay. So Frenzy grants an 20% increased attack cast speed. Okay, and that's basically what I want, more attack speed. It gives me Frenzy. I'm no longer getting Frenzy from the totem, and I'll explain that in a second. I put 1 point into Victory Howl in order to be able to get over to here to Snarl. This is for bossing. This is for map clear. As you clear through the map, every time you kill something, you get a chance of it howling. The more often you kill stuff, the faster you kill stuff, the more howls. I put 2 points here and 2 points here to give a little more survivability, a little more dodge. I might take those out and put it somewhere else. I don't really know just yet. I put points in here, just give a little more damage so that when it does hit, it does leech back and it can survive longer, because this gives pet leech and this gives pet leech. So there's that. For the totem, the reason why I have the here's what I did. I put 3 points into reinforced totem in order to get to sloth totem, which now, instead of giving me frenzy buff, which I get from the wolf, it applies armor shred, which I can do more damage with, being it has less armor, and it slows them so that they don't really run around as fast. I got 5 of 5 here and grounded in order to be able to get more melee damage, so more than melee damage, more leech damage. Put the tether there in order to be able, so if I run out of range, it still stays tethered with me, because the circle is kind of big, but sometimes as you're going through a map, you need that little extra range. I'm actually going to take the 5 points out of here because I don't really care about crit, and I'm going to toss it into here. I've just been too lazy to do it. That way I can get more global poison when the totem is out. So it'll increase the armor shred and give me more poison, which is good, and more damage. You can put it in here if you want to get to there, but it doesn't really matter that much because you're not really critting too much. For Warcry, basically what you want 1 point to Juggernaut, because then you want to get to Berserker, and you want 1 point of Berserker. You want to put 4 points into Brutality in order to give you more stacks of Berserker, so you're gonna have 14 stacks now instead of just 1. And what that does, it gives you more melee damage. But if you put 3 points into Fury Strikes, you can get up to 60%. That's not per stack. What is it? Up to 60. So it's 5% per stack, up to 60%. Okay. So more attack speed. More attack speed is good. More attack speed equals more damage. I decided you can go for anywhere else you want in the tree. That's purely subjective. That's what you want to do. I put 4 points in the knockback distance because I turned it into a pull in, so that way I pull them in from a farther distance to me. So if you only have a few points in here, it won't pull them in quite as much. That way I can get all the mobs to me, so I can be lazy and not have to go after them. I put 1 point in there just because I had 1 point left over from everything, because I had 5 points in the area. I just threw it in there. I could toss it somewhere else, but I just picked that. And for Serpent Sting, I actually have 24 points in Serpent Sting. Sorry about that. I got the... It's on the relic. You can get Serpent Sting plus 4 points when you have a tier 7 on the relic. So gotta get pretty lucky to get that. I put 4 points in the colon point because as soon as you get any mob to under 24% health, it instantly kills them. So as long as you're hitting with Serpent Strike. So that's just less damage you have to worry about killing a mob. It's a big damage increase. 20%, 24% is a lot. The only thing that's higher than that is Last Laugh two-handed sword, which can be up to 25%. That's actually one of the highest ones out there. 24%. I think you can get 20% with Lich. I think it's on a Lich tree. You can get up to 24%, 20%, but this is pretty much the highest that I've seen is 24%. On average, like around 15%. I think with Swipe you can get 14%. It's not too bad. You want to put 2 points in the Plague Bearer in order to get to here for Scorpion Strikes. Every time you hit with Serpent Strike, you get a 4-second buff that gives you 60%. So every time you hit, so if I'm hitting 100 times a second, I'm going to get a lot of poison damage for 4 seconds. And I hit a lot. And then I have to put 4 points into Nagasa Venom in order to get to Venomous Intent, to get to Chrono Strike, which, well, every time I hit with Serpent Strike, I get 50% damage over time. So every time you hit with Serpent Strike, you get 50% damage over time, and you get 6% more poison damage. That's just, and it stacks. And it lasts for 4 seconds. So that's when if you look on the bottom, when I was fighting the Abomination, I had like 4,000 of one and 5,000 of another. It's crazy. It's really fun. I put 3 points into here and did a little bit of poison, but I might remove that and put it here and just get 15% more attack speed, because why not? More attack speed, more damage. As far as gear goes, it's pretty straightforward. You want Aspect the Shark, you want Poison, and you want Serpent Strike there. Put everything else you need. You get your crit avoidance, you get your poison damage if you want. You can get attack speed on your gloves, get your movement speed. For the weapon, I put 10 attributes there, or I got 10 attributes there, and I put the rest of it on there as well. For the idols, because it actually helps double dip if you think about it, because you have 10 strength there, that's what, 40% more damage, and then 10 dex, that's another 40%, so that's 80% more damage there, as well as having 40% more poison chance. So it's actually pretty good to have it, have all attributes. And then of course you want these idols, you want to have Aspect of the Boar, Aspect of the Shark, but you don't really need Aspect of the Boar. I just have it there because it's pretty cool. But you could have Aspect of the Shark. You need to have at least 4 of them. I only have 3 of them with Aspect of the Shark. For some reason it's a very low drop chance for me. My RNG sucks with it, so I filled it up with some poison and viper effect stuff. And then the remaining little dots has damage over time and poison, as well as the other one, damage over time and poison. As well, you want a poison, that's your main thing. But more shark effect, more shark duration because of that. But yeah, you also have this too. So if you don't want duration, you want effect, you could get some effect ones that goes up to 13%. See, that one's actually pretty good roll too. But yeah, that's the build. It's pretty simple. It's not too complicated. It just, it doesn't really start to shine until you get all the way up to here, and that's when it really starts to shine, because you can start stacking the shark stacks. But up to then, it's pretty normal build, average build. You have your Serpent Strike, get pretty good. But like I said, once you get this, and then you get this maxed out, oh, it just feels so much better. It's such a fun build. Be able to attack that fast, that crazy. And the sad thing is, you won't be able to get 2000 constantly, which would be amazing, which actually be very, very, very broken. But if you stay at like 500-600% attack speed, there's very few builds out there that can stay up that high for attack speed. It's pretty crazy too, especially with the amount of bleed stack. Because if you think about it, that right there is how much? 100. And then here I'm at 136, so about 2 stacks every hit, pretty much. That's not too bad. And you're hitting so fast so often, you're easily putting hella stacks up there every couple times. So yeah. So in closing, this is the my build, my showcase, the way I have it out right now. If someone can figure out a way to do it better, please let me know. If you have any suggestions or comments or questions, leave them in chat. If I see them, I'll answer them. If someone else is smarter than me and they can answer them also, then go ahead. I really appreciate just if hopefully you watch at least a third of this video. But I'm still thinking about maybe I'll start learning how to edit, because I like watching edited videos, but I really haven't seen too many people do an Aspect of the Shark stack like this. I think I saw someone a while back comment on possibly doing it, but I've never seen a build that actually stacks it like this. And there's an alternative build you can do with this, which is what I had these here for, because at first I was a bleed build and I was using swipe and I was stacking bleed and did pretty good. But then I decided to try Serpent Strike. Oh, it does so much better. It's like night and day, to be honest. I think bleed needs to get buffed somehow, just because poison outshines bleed almost all the time. And it's not that it's inherently better. Well, kind of is, because it has the reduced basically had its own like poison shred, but it's just bleed seems a lot harder to get to be really good compared to poison. It's really kind of sad the amount of effort you have to put into bleed in order to make it shine as good as poison. But that's that. I appreciate anyone who was able to stay for at least half of this video, or even a third of this video, and to this last part. Thank you very much, and until next time, have fun either way.